Hey, Mountain family, Jared and Sean here, and you might be wondering why we're on your screen, or maybe even who we are. My name's Jared Fox. I'm the director of campuses here at Mountain. I work with our campus pastors, kids, students, and welcome. And Sean is our lead Mountain students pastor, offering oversight and direction to Mountain students across all of our campuses. Both of us, we work a lot behind the scenes, making sure that ministry happens and happens well across all of our campuses. And we're here to share a little bit of news with you all that impacts our friend Sean Cole. Kind of the bottom line up front, and then I'll let Sean share some of his heart, is the fact that Sean's time on our staff team is drawing to a close, okay? His time on our team will come to a close on August 4th, which is pretty soon, but at the same time, through a careful process of discernment and lots of conversations, it's just become clear that this is the time for a transition. And I thought, we want to share this with you all, even though some of you might know Sean really, really well, and others, Sean is just this person behind the scenes, like really serving our church in beautiful ways. I thought it was really important maybe just to share some of Sean's heart and where the Lord is leading and directing him in this season. And so I wanted Sean to be able to share that, and then we could talk a little bit about what this news means for our ministry.
Yeah, and this has not been an easy decision. It's been something that I've been walking with our directional leadership team here at Mountain to try to figure out what is God up to and what is God in the midst of. And it's one of those things that's, in a lot of ways, I'm tremendously sad to leave our Mountain staff team. There's so much good stuff that God is doing in and through our staff team and just in and through our 200-year-old church. It's so awesome to see how God is moving, and he's been a part of this process for me too. And that's what, in a lot of ways, has been really comforting for me, is to see God work and prepare and continue to be with me and with Mountain through this process. And I'm really, in a lot of ways, incredibly grateful that Jared took a chance on me. He was the one who hired me originally when I was this young 22-year-old coming straight out of school to be our middle school pastor. And from investing in middle school students, jumping and having a chance to add different campuses and leading through the pandemic that we don't really want to talk about, but is still there, a lot of pivots, and in a lot of ways, most recently, being able to be our lead students pastor. It's been such a privilege to be able to get this crash course in leadership and be able to absorb so many awesome things from so many amazing people here at Mountain, both on staff and difference makers, regular people like you. And that's one of the things that just makes this decision so tough, because I am really incredibly grateful and at the same time, incredibly sad. It's one of those things where we're holding kind of both of these emotions together in this moment. But at the same time, I know that ministry is what's next for me. It's not something to where I'm running away or stepping out of ministry. And I'm really excited for my next ministry assignment. And probably most importantly for you all too, we have an incredible student staff team, an incredible staff team at Mountain. And really the best days for Mountain and the best days for Mountain students are ahead of us.
Yeah, thanks, Sean. I know I got to see you start here and develop as a leader and a pastor, and your wife Ashlyn, and most recently the addition of Makai to your family. In a lot of ways, we have gotten to watch you guys grow up in ministry, and we're grateful for that. And if you know Sean, well, he has led us as a Mountain students through some really trying times, like the word we don't talk about, COVID, and taking what this church has been, and then moving our Mountain students into multi-site, which has kind of caught it up to the rest of the way that our church functions. And a lot of us get to benefit from the ministry that Sean does behind the scenes. And what you might not know about Sean is he is strategic, he's dynamic, he's organized, he's a leader. And so all the fruit that we have gotten to experience at Mountain students over these past several years, it's because of Sean's investment. It's because he has worked so hard to say, Lord, what are you doing here? And how can I be a conduit to make that happen? And we've seen fruit. Some of the largest attendance and engagement we've ever had with students groups. Same thing for Mix and Move and all the different retreats that we've participated in over the last number of years. Engagement is at the highest level ever, including the number of difference makers who serve and give of themselves to love these students. And all of that, while you know probably your campus students pastor the best, behind the scenes underpinning it all is Sean and the ministry support team. And we get to experience the fruit of his labor. And so we're really grateful for you and your time and your investment and your love for this place and your love for the kingdom. And we're gonna miss you. We are. And at the same time, we know as your time draws to a close that some of us, we might have questions about what's next. Like, so what does that mean for Mountain students? And so maybe I'll just offer a brief word there, and that will be enough for now, and we'll share more later. Like I said, Sean is going to continue in his role through Mix and Move, and his time on our team will come to a close on August 4th. That was Sean's decision and desire. He knows Mix and Move, like how many students are going between the two?
I was gonna say over 480.
Well, it's a lot. It's a lot of logistics. It's a lot to handle, and Sean is an expert in those things, and so he's gonna see us through that, which again just speaks so highly to Sean's character that he doesn't want this transition to happen prior to those things being accomplished and accomplished well, because we know those weeks will impact kids' lives forever, and we want them to go off without a hitch. And so his time will draw to a close on August 4th, but Sean has been working with the ministry support team kind of behind the scenes to really prepare us well for the fall, so that as Sean's time on our team comes to a close, the ministry will not skip a beat. It won't slow down, it will continue. And so a big part of what Sean has cared about recently and will continue to through the month of July is saying, how can I give everything I have to plan us out as far as possible so that in his absence, ministry continues to happen with the same fruitfulness and excellence that it has thus far under his leadership. And so that's gonna buy us a little bit of time, which will be nice. But at the same time, we know that we need to be thinking future oriented. And I be honest with you, we don't have all that figured out yet. This is fresh, it's new. But one of the things I've told Sean, I've told the rest of the team, this past Saturday, we celebrated 200 years as a church. And so one of the things I'm reminded of, I need to be reminded of often, is that God's goodness and his sovereignty is way bigger than any of us in this moment. And 200 years proves it. And so we look forward with expectation. We really do. We trust the Lord. We trust that he will guide our steps, we trust that he's guiding Sean's steps, and that the best days for all of our ministry, the ministry at Mountain, the ministry for Sean, the ministry for any of us, the best days are ahead as we continue to seek and trust in the Lord. And so that's our prayer. We're gonna figure it out. We've got some time because of the work that Sean has done, but we also know that July is gonna be a really fun ride, and a lot of good and important stuff is gonna happen. And so I just wanna say, if you have questions, you are welcome to reach out to either of us. We're here, we're available, but if nothing else, I would ask you, invite you, be praying for two things. One, Sean and Ashlyn and Makai as they walk through this transition. It's always hard, it's sad. And so be praying for them. And second, be praying for our Mountain Students Ministry, because we know there's a lot out ahead of us. Some really good days. The camp stuff's gonna be awesome, but then we have this fall semester coming and a lot of preparation and planning and then figuring out what's next. It's a lot, and it's good stuff, and the Lord is in it. And when we rally together in prayer, the Lord shows up. So be praying for Sean and his family, and be praying for Mountain students, and know that we love you, we're for you, we're with you. If you need anything at all or have questions, please don't hesitate.